Here we go. That was my seat.
Okay. Mic check, mic check.
I thought you'd think it was feedback.
Wait, it gets better. Wait.
Hi, we're Tony and Chelsea Live. It's Thursday at 5 o'clock. Cut to Roxy and just show what Roxy is doing. Roxy has looked up my modeling career as...
Is it related? Wait, there it is.
Yeah, as Velveeta spokesperson.
They sent us Velveeta for that.
Yeah, I got a big thing of Velveeta. Every Thursday at 5, we're here reviewing your pictures live, taking questions, and this week we have special guest Roxy Rodriguez, runner-up for America's Next Top Model. No.
America's
top photographer.
Just top photographer. Now you got
Adorama's top photographer.
How could you do this, Tony?
Hey, Roxy, thanks for joining us.
Hey.
Hold
Top
on.
model.
I got stuff to do.
Okay.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, a website, an online store, make your next move with Squarespace. You don't have to have a photography portfolio that you need. You can do it for any business, a doctor's office, if you make jewelry, if you're a taxidermist, if you just have some sweet shirts or something. Make the next move with Squarespace. They have a beautiful award-winning templates, 24/7 customer support. We like them a lot. Check them out at squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code portfolio to get 10% off. You know who else has a Squarespace? Roxy.
Roxy, do you like Squarespace?
I do. I love Squarespace.
Oh, yeah. What do you like?
Not an ad. Like, I love Squarespace.
Yeah, this wasn't coordinated. She just happened to do Squarespace, and they happen to be our sponsor.
Well,
but they're awesome. You can, if you want to see Roxy's awesome Squarespace portfolio, go to roxyrodriguez.com. I think I have it up here.
Yeah, we were looking at it.
First, you should Google Tony and Velveeta. That's the first thing you should do.
Oh man, we had when we first started doing stock and I was learning Photoshop, we did some really terrible stock photos, just way over edited, and people actually put them places. I don't know how they ever made it out in the world, these terrible photos, but they did. So Velveeta not only picked them up, but I'm on billboards in other countries and people send pictures of me like, just being like super cheese. It's,
amazing. Yeah, you got to put your work out there. You never know who's going to pick it up.
I know.
Could just get a cheese sponsor.
But it kind of haunts you. It kind of comes back to bite you.
No, it makes you that much cooler. Like, I have like this much more respect now because of the cheese.
Because we're the cheese couple. People love it.
All right, I'll leave finding us on my Velveeta ads up to
Just leave
the viewers while we
the
continue
powers of the
on.
internet.
This week we're looking at your fashion photos. So if you want us to review one of your fashion photos live in real time, visit sdp.io/submit and use the password FROC to log in and upload those photos. Siobhan will be screening your photos for us. Siobhan out in Philly. Hey, Siobhan will also we're just going to get Siobhan's camera up here. Siobhan will be reviewing comments and questions that you have for either us or Roxy. So if you want to ask Roxy something, just ask a comment in the questions, or you can use hashtag TCLive on Instagram or Twitter. Justin can see those and put them on the screen or talk to us. While they're sending your pictures in, let's talk about what we're doing next week. Next week it's animals. So
that's what I thought. I thought we
Roxy's
needed
excited
some
about the
cuteness
animals,
in
too.
the world.
So cute. People who can work with animals or get a good shot of animals, like, wow. Because
Yeah.
Animals can be a pain.
Yeah.
Especially the wild ones. You'd be surprised. They're not that excited to see you often.
Come here. My dog is just sitting and staring at me and crying. That's why I'm trying to do stuff, but I guess I can't do that right now. Yes, animals. I'm really excited for that show.
I'm going to throw a quick plug out there for Top Photographer. I bet most people have already seen it, but if you haven't yet, it's a fantastic show that's available free on YouTube where 4 very skilled photographers shoot it out and battle 5 photographers.
Yeah, 5.
You can go to sdp.io/top to just watch it live. It was hosted by Anorama. there's the link.
We had an interview with Nigel Barker as well, and you should really check it out. I learned a lot. He has an incredible career. He's so charismatic and a really nice guy. You're going to learn a lot if you watch that interview. Isn't he amazing, Roxy?
Oh, he's just like a non-human person.
I know. He's perfect. Check out the interview. Just do it.
We'll talk to Roxy a little more in a bit. You want to go over some quick news while we wait for people to submit their photos?
Yeah, I love news.
First, we have a couple bits of gear in. We have the Panasonic G7, the EOS M5. We also have the Nikon D5600 and the Nikon D3400. So we have a bunch of new cameras in. We're making tutorials for everything. So those are coming soon. We also have this rum that I haven't yet tried, sent to us by
Louis Chan sent us that, and that's the most fun mail I've gotten in like a year.
From actual real Cuba.
What are you doing?
Ooh, breaking the seal.
Oh, no.
Let's see if I can do this without spilling it everywhere. I know you said you didn't want any, Chelsea, so I'm going to pour some, and then Roxy, if you want it, you'll just have to reach to the screen.
Just going to have to make a trip from California.
Justin, there's one for you there if you think that's a good idea.
Maybe.
I don't know. maybe running a live show and
looks like there's okay.
Tasting rum is a
Tony's
bad
a bad
idea,
influence on me. I was a pure girl until I met him.
So it's not true at all about the pure girl thing, by the way. Roxy, do you know who this is behind me here?
Yes.
No, it's the president of Brazil, and this is his presidential portrait.
It's really bad.
Via Petapixel, and
I work for Brazilians like Monday through Friday, so I should definitely have known.
We won't tell. I mean, everybody knows now, but I won't repeat it.
I think presidential portraiture is really interesting because the president can convey so many different things about themselves. And we'll actually I'm going to look at 3 different presidential pictures, and you can tell a lot about the personality of the presidents.
I did that.
This picture, however, I think the picture itself is okay, but the editing is like appalling. Look at the way they cut out around his hair.
Do you see around his hair? It's just white. And then the sky background is in focus. They didn't blur it. And then the flag is also in perfect focus. But I gotta say, he looks like a friendly guy.
Yeah, I like that about him. He clearly wanted to convey, like, he's upright. His head is up. But at the same time, he has like a nice casual smile, not like a toothy grin. But he seems nice, right?
Yeah.
Presidential. This is Obama's last presidential picture. And I just thought for his second term. His first term was much more serious, no teeth. But for his second term, he went with this
friendly.
Yeah, just a very casual pose and like a huge just
good lighting.
Grin. Yeah.
He's in focus. The background is not. Those are some good things.
Yeah, I think the picture itself is the best one that we'll look at. It's a good portrait. And also, I don't know, it just looks like you just saw an old friend or something. You're like, oh, Obama, what's up?
His friends call him Obama. His friends are like, Obama, we haven't talked in years.
Very.
Contrast that with our new president here. And Trump himself, I mean, I presume he put some thought into the pose and stature he would make. And to me, it reads like very stern, like a father who's disappointed in you and he's going to like take his belt off. Don't you get that idea? Like he's already mad?
Well, I think it's interesting. The background is a blue tint.
Yeah, with all due respect to the photographer, I felt like the picture didn't turn out good at all. The color balance in the background is terrible. The White House in the background is also it's off level.
It's blues to contrast the orange. You know what I mean?
It was an artistic choice.
Yeah, exactly. Just to bring out that orange skin tones.
I thought this crop would drive you crazy, Tony, with the one shoulder poking out and then his arm totally chopped off.
Yeah, you're right. That drives me crazy. I don't know. There's so many things about this picture that just...
And the lighting is unflattering because it catches right under the bags in his eyes.
Yeah, and if you look at the catch light in his eyes, it's low, like it's coming up. Like you're making like a spooky, scary picture. It was just like a mind-blowing portrait. I was like,
came to mind when I saw this. Arnold Newman. Okay. I'm just going to skim right past that.
Pentax announced the KP, just a new top-end APS-C camera for $1,200. It seems interesting. 24 megapixels, sensor stabilization.
We'll try it.
That stuff.
We got to send it to Roxy.
Did you put this in there, Chels?
No, a ghost did. I did.
Oh, I have no idea what this is.
Sony's having a sale. So if you go to alphauniverse.com/winter 2017, there's some deals if you're thinking about buying. Now might be the right time. That's all.
Yeah, those are actually really good prices.
Our show, sdp.io/WL1 Wanderlust. Roxy watched it. And now you want us to come to California, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I would love it if you hosted us.
Yes, I would love that too.
I'm already planning all of our adventures. So.
Okay. Well, you're pretty much a shoo-in, Roxy, but if somebody else wants to submit an audition tape, go to sdp.io/travel.
Yeah, you guys definitely should, or at least watch the first episode.
I'm going to import some pictures.
We'll get some pictures in, Roxy.
Let's do it.
Let's get this going. We told them the password is frock.
Frock.
That's a dress.
Like when you stub your toe, you yell, "Frock!"
What the frock?
What the frock?
Okay, I feel like a common theme today is going to be, is this really fashion photography?
I think this is, but I think it's like about the jewelry. It's about the earring.
Yeah, oh boy, I don't know why this decided. Okay. Yeah, that's what I see here, and the big part of the reason is it's the brightest part of the picture. It's also kind of against dark skin, so it's really high contrast. What do you think of this photo, Roxy?
I think it's absolutely beautiful. The colors are so like nice. They're not like bright, but they're like
Vivid.
What's the word for it?
Rich.
It looks like a rich. Yeah.
It does
I
look
love
like a painting.
Yeah, like a Renaissance era painting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of
it looks
mastered
like
the
a
use of
painting.
light.
I agree.
This though, right?
Only thing, yeah.
I thought the same exact thing. My eye was drawn to that. But I have to say, another thing that I like is that she's looking down. And so I'm not locking eyes with her. I'm always looking at that earring. And if that was what you were going for, you're selling the earring. It's working.
Yeah, I think you've got to just beat the little details now, which is like hard to keep track of sometimes. You're like, oh, everything was perfect. It just takes someone else to be like, what the hair tie? You know?
That still happens to me. I overlook something small that ends up being huge somehow. You just don't know what's going to stand out. Yeah.
It happens to me all the time.
Yeah, you always need a second person there, like looking at the pictures. That's one reason it's good to have like a tethered computer and a big screen where multiple people can just gather around it and just nitpick it while you're there. So you notice it then instead of later.
I always forget the nails.
Yeah, nails or hair ties right here.
Yes. Mm-hmm. How about this one? This looks more like bridal photography than fashion to me.
Yeah, I think what makes it fashion is the fact that she is in the ocean, I think, like trying to be a little bit more creative with the dress. It reminds me of those shoots that are called like destroy your dress. Once you, after your wedding, you like jump in mud in it or like, you know, destroy the dress.
Yeah, I've seen those. Those are cool.
I like the reflection of her in the water. Like in the...
Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm loud.
But to me, it doesn't say much about the dress. We don't get to see the lines of the dress. I really like the details of the dress, something that might sell you on the dress that just aren't really conveyed.
It looks like a little cake topper. Like you just pick her up and put her on the top of the cake.
Yeah. Do you think a vertical, like portrait crop would be better since she's not?
Yeah.
I do think the reflection in the foreground isn't really doing anything for me. So yeah, I'd probably go much tighter.
There we go.
Oh, I like the colors in this one.
Yeah, I love doing like the matching color where like you think like maybe this is a bad idea, maybe it's too much red, but like I love when it kind of looks like she's a part of the environment, not just like placed in.
Yeah, and her hair is contrasting. We got the yellow and the red and then the black and white. It's kind of nice.
How do y'all feel about her being right up against the wall like that?
Go ahead, Roxy.
Yeah, I'd pull her back a little bit, or forward, sorry. Pull her forward a little bit so she's not like leaned up against the wall, maybe to get rid of like that popcorn texture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll say one technique I see used with a wall well is when they could put kind of a hard light on
Flash,
there
yeah.
that almost looks on camera flashy, but not exactly. Like it's a little further off, and then we get that kind of outline shadow cast against the wall.
I saw
lighting here
some
is
of
pretty
your
soft.
work like that, Roxy, not necessarily up against that background, but I think that it was a set you did for a client and the girls had t-shirts on and they were in the water and there was a lot of hard light.
Uh-huh.
I like that. I like that. It reminded me of that Fiona Apple video, Criminal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When she's at is it the one where they're at like a party and she's like,
Yes.
uh-huh.
I like that.
I know exactly what video you're talking about. Yeah.
I love this picture.
I think this picture is amazing. I really like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
This is awesome. I love it. I love that you can see a little bit of her face in it, and that it's what's catching your eye most is like what she's wearing, which is a big part in fashion.
Yeah, and the shapes in the picture are really nice. What are you doing, Toner?
I was just pondering making that light behind her pop a little, but I didn't like that. It was a failed experiment.
Oh, that's fine. Everybody's got to do it.
You try it.
She's really cute. This is really nice, kind of. Well, it's labeled first day of school, so maybe it's not actually a fashion shoot, but I do feel like it kind of works that way. Her outfit feels really nice, really organic.
If you just like dropped a white background behind it, it would be like Target 100%.
Yeah.
Like very like happy, spunky, which is also fashion. I mean, you're trying to sell the clothes. So.
Commercial fashion.
Commercial fashion, yeah.
I think one quick tip is I'm not thrilled that the horizon here is just right in line with the top of her head. So if you were to crouch down a little bit, you could put the horizon line like closer to her shoulders. Might separate her from the background a little more, or come up a little bit and make the horizon line disappear completely.
That didn't bother me because she looks small, and I think it's cute.
Yeah, I might also do something different with her knees. I know it's a kid and it's difficult to get them to pose correctly, but I think her arms are looking great, but those knees are feeling a
I
little
don't
weird.
know why it's making me laugh because it's like this little kid, and you're like, her arms are looking great, but her knees need work.
I know realistically, like you can't always get a little kid to do intricate poses and stuff, but I thought I'd throw it out there.
I like to tease, you know it. Joe Baker, we see a lot of his pictures.
Yeah, this is very glam. Here we got a fan going on her hair, this sort of beauty light, working the shadows. I guess it could be fashion if you're maybe selling the t-shirt. I don't know.
I'm getting like, I think everything technically is very great. Like the light is beautiful. The processing on her skin looks good. Her expression is good. It is very glamorous. And I feel like maybe the outfit conflicts with that a little bit. Like I would like to see her just kind of sitting on a beach or wearing more high fashion clothes. Roxy, what are you thinking over there? I see you nodding your head.
100% agree. Like everything, the mood, the tone, everything is set up to be this like really amazing in studio like shoot. But then the clothes look like
Chilling on the beach.
In the beach, yeah. And sometimes you can play with that. I mean, if you had just like maybe just the shorts and did like a oversized jacket and made it look kind of edgy, you can play with casual clothes if you don't have like, you have to make sure that the clothes match the scene.
So this is a good thing to talk about because before the show, Roxy and I were talking about wardrobe stylists. Joe, everything with your photography is perfect. It's the wardrobe and the styling that we're having a problem with. And Roxy uses a wardrobe stylist, and I try to. I live in a small town, and I was telling her I have a hard time with that. It's not really something you have when you live in a small town. So you might want to work out and collaborate. Roxy, you made some suggestions to me. Would you like to share with Joe?
Yeah, like I said, wardrobe stylists are the hardest, but they're the most essential sometimes because they can make a photo go from, oh, that doesn't look right to, wow, like that's so cool. I was telling Chelsea, like you can reach out to maybe designers who are starting off or clothing brands that you like and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this shoot. I think your clothes would be a good fit. and getting them to send you stuff, or like I'll go out on a Saturday and go thrifting and find things that I think would be perfect for shoots. So I have that backup just in case, because you never want to put all this effort putting a shoot together and then the clothes isn't there, and then it all kind of doesn't work out. So there are ways to, definitely reach out to people that stylists and tell them your ideas, and then they'll be glad to collaborate.
Yeah, and it's good to know as a photographer, you don't have to do it all. You can be a part of a team, and that's perfectly acceptable. It's okay. You bring in hair and makeup. You can bring in a wardrobe stylist. You can bring in a set designer if you're at that level. That's all a part of it. Then you have to be good at getting a team and having everyone have the same vision. So you're at that level, Joe. You can bring in other people.
I went digging through Roxy's Instagram. She's Roxy. And just to find a more kind of environmental fashion shot, as an example, like I think if you took Joe Baker's model and outfit here and just kind of gave her this more casual pose in a casual environment, it might all fit together a little bit better. Or you could put her in, a glittery, more formal dress, and the moods would be more consistent. But I think that's what all hit us. Like the mood between her pose and expression and outfit didn't really match up that well for us. This one is strikingly casual.
And one thing I love about kids is that they're fearless with fashion, and I love that they put together crazy stuff. And Tony's probably thinking, what's up with Chelsea? Because when my own daughter did it and wore 3 layers of pajamas to school, I wasn't so happy. But when I see kids that can really mix and match styles and do their own thing, it always makes me feel good because they're not trying to conform. And that's something that I like about this girl. Her pose, though, is I was just sitting here and you got a picture of me. So I would kind of she has so much personality in her own little quirky style. I would make that high fashion. What do you think, Roxy?
Yeah, I mean, those pants are already super, I feel like I would love them on a shoot, and then maybe if she was standing up and showing the shape of the pants, it would go from a portrait to a fashion shot.
Yes. Show off the clothes. Do you have feelings about it, Tone? Or do you think we covered it?
Yeah, I think you covered it exactly. It was the hand on the chin felt a little posy to me.
Yeah. Well,
okay, this is very...
I see Twiggy in the background.
Glam, very carefully put together. There even feels like storytelling. It's some combination of still life and fashion. Really interesting shot right away. What do you think the Twiggy and the typewriter mean? Do you think they were just random props put in there, or is it a story?
Things.
Stuff with a T.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going for this old and new thing. You have this older looking building, and it's kind of, the paint is chipping, and Twiggy is kind of a vintage icon, and the typewriter's vintage, and then she has on this very glam, almost beauty queen dress. It's interesting.
Yeah, I really like it. It definitely made me stop and explore it a little bit. And even if a fashion shot isn't traditionally beautiful, if it catches your eye and makes you look at it, that's usually what the fashion photographer wants, or the fashion customer, really. What do you think, Roxy?
Yeah, I like the lines that her body takes you, her leg, and then they kind of go up across her side. I think that for the dress, this isn't the most flattering angle for it, because your focus is more on the seam of the dress.
Yes.
Versus if she was maybe just turned slightly more forward towards us, you wouldn't even think about the seam on the dress. You would just see the shape of her body.
That's a good point. If you're doing fashion, you have to consider how the clothes look. Absolutely.
Yeah, fashion is so bleh. It's hard. It's definitely
hard.
a thing, but
there's layers to it.
Yeah.
I love her pose and her expression and everything, but this is so underexposed.
Yeah, I mean, I know that can be done for effects sometimes, but I felt like I just wanted to increase the contrast some.
Yeah, that looks better. That's beautiful. I love her hair and her expression.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's not better. I think they were deliberate in the kind of washed outedness that they originally had. I'm a little bothered by the lack of contrast on her necklace. The necklace almost disappears against her skin.
Hmm. Yeah, sometimes when it's like that, it's just best not to.
Yeah, but I like the shot. I'm having a hard time pinpointing it. Like the direct eye contact is great. The way her hair and arms are carefully positioned is really good. And it at the same time it feels very natural, almost like a stolen moment, like a Polaroid.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Great shot.
I like this one. Yeah.
All right. Finally a guy making an appearance.
Whoa, Mr. Style.
Love his haircut. That's cool.
Got an undercut going.
Well, what are we selling here? Is it the glasses, do you think? Because we can't see much else
He's
except maybe the scarf.
Holding open the jacket, but then we can't see the whole jacket.
Yeah.
I think either whether if this was like pulled in a little more or pulled out a little more, I would do it. Like, if
Yeah.
it's either like glasses, the fashion is like the scarf, the texture on the scarf and the glasses, or like just pulled out, he's like going somewhere, you're like,
What if we went more moody with it?
Yeah, there's something about the lighting and contrast that I feel is missing, but I do like a lot of it. I think if it is the glasses that we're selling, then I think we need a light over here because the earpiece is going to be the most prominent part, but it's just kind of not lit at all. And so I feel like then if it's not the glasses, then it must be the jacket or scarf, but neither one of them feel particularly prominent. Maybe it's just a cool portrait. Sometimes people just take a picture and send it in, and I think it works as that. He feels cool to me.
yeah, or it could look like an actor's. Oh, this next one also looks like an actor's headshot.
That looks like an actor's headshot, but it's a really nice picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes Abercrombie would do stuff like this. Remember, they'd just kind of show a portrait, and it's almost you're selling the feeling with your brand. But I would say I would put this more with portraiture or
Yeah.
headshot than fashion.
Yeah, but I think it's really well done. He's a good model, and
This
it's
is a great model. The tones are really nice as far as I can see here. I think it just now needs a little something to make it go from just the portrait to it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And his hair is amazing. Can we just go back? Can I just zoom in on that?
yeah, his hair, and not only his hair, but the way it's lit, because it would be easy for his hair to just disappear into darkness, but it has a good amount of light on it.
Freckles. Oh, I'm a sucker for freckles on models.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look great.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's eye-catching.
This is definitely about the outfit. What do you think, Roxy?
To me, there's something a little uncomfortable about her pose. Her hands seem kind of intense, and maybe her face isn't completely relaxed, but I guess I'm having a hard time pinpointing it.
So this is what I like about the picture. I think that it's well lit. I think you got good eye contact. I like that the background is really creamy. And then from that point, there's just something that feels not right. And I'm trying to really pinpoint what that is. I think it might be a styling thing, which could be a matter of taste.
Yeah. Maybe without the jacket, so we can see more of the texture on the top.
Yeah.
But I love nighttime fashion photography, so I like that about it.
I like that about it too. Different, right? And the lighting is really nice, don't you think?
Yeah. And also some models are great for portraiture and some aren't great for fashion. So that's also something to keep in mind, that like someone can have a really pretty face and look for like a nice photo, but fashion is like a whole different kind of
striking. I think you really nailed what's not right, Roxy. It's that she's very beautiful and she's commercial. And she takes a nice portrait, but if you were to get somebody more angular and more interesting and more high fashion looking, if you study high fashion photography and you study the runway, a lot of the models aren't necessarily like classically pretty or girl next door pretty. They're beautiful, but they're different. They're striking, they're angular, or they're androgynous, or they're just different. And
I started doing fashion photography, shooting my friends, and you get to a point where like now you know how to light things, you know what you're doing. So now start reaching out to models, you know, like I've shot plenty fashion with girls who aren't fashion models and just to kind of learn how to do things. But then this guy, I feel like has graduated. Like now, you know, you know how to light, you know how to take a good photo. What's the next step?
yeah.
I also want to add, I think part of it is about the light. If you look at the original photo on the left, he has like a strobe, and her skin is so fair that it's picking up all the light and reflecting it back, and the light fall off because the strobe is up here. The light fall off means everything down here is dark, and basically all the definition of the jacket and her body is disappearing, so you can't see the shape of her body or her pose. It all just becomes kind of one mass, and really
think that
all you take in is this,
I
just her
actually
head.
think that works though, because when you start filling it in here, this outfit is puckering. That's not an appealing part of the outfit right here. Like you almost want that to get lost in the shadows.
A separate problem to tackle, right?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at somebody's portfolio.
Okay. Let's do this. Roxy's a portfolio expert now because she has a Squarespace.
That's what it takes.
You said something, I can't remember if you said it on the show or when we were talking before the show, but you said you like Squarespace because as soon as you finish your portfolio, you're bored and you want to change it again.
Yeah, as soon as I do all my pages and put everything in, and I'm like, I hate this. And Squarespace is so easy to just be like, here's a new template and you don't have to start over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do that too. I've changed my template a few times. And sometimes you think something's going to work and then you get all of your pictures in and you realize, I don't want to scroll or I don't want to do this or it's easy.
Okay, let's look at Daniel Skog's portfolio.
Daniel
is an 18-year-old boy from northern Norway. He describes himself as a boy. Maybe that's Google Translate doing this work for me. Is that the case? No, it's not translated. Daniel, I think you can officially call yourself a man. I'm not in charge of handing out man cards, but I think you're qualified.
Doesn't have the same ring as Danny Boy, so I'm with Daniel.
Okay, so he's skog.media. It's an unusual URL, but that probably works. I think people are over just needing to look at .coms. I think maybe he's submitted that picture before. It definitely looks familiar to me. This is his portrait section. So he has his portfolio divided into different categories. Okay, we saw two very similar pictures here, so I'd probably cut one of those.
Ooh, I like the less traditional one there.
At the bottom there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Roxy nodded, so she agrees.
You got a silhouette going on. Let's check out his nature work. That's a very pretty portfolio. I like that old building in the foreground. Good reflection
He's
there.
Multi-talented. Perfect waterfall. What? That's so pretty right there.
Yeah, that's really pretty. I might even lead with these.
What was that?
Move that one to the top.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was just saying the same thing. I totally agree.
Up, Danny boy.
Let's see what he's got for sports.
But sometimes we want to put our best ones, so we're like boom. That one was done, but it's not done. We got some good stuff down here.
Yeah, leave him on a good note. Leave him with a good feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough because we never assess our own work. Do you ever have that happen, Roxy, where you're in love with a photo and then nobody else seems to think it's great?
Oh, all the time. I'll post it on Instagram and it'll get like no one. People are like, and I'm like, what? This is everything.
That happens to me. I'll put up a picture that I worked so hard on and I feel like I really nailed it and nobody cares. And then I put up the most snapshotty, easiest to take picture and it's got high contrast and everyone loves it. And I'm like, this is not art.
I know. It's okay. That's why I just did a blog post and I said like how important it is to take pictures for yourself too sometimes. Just know that like this is for me and I'm proud of it and it doesn't have to go anywhere or for anyone. But sometimes you need to do that because if you just do the photos for people to get feedback from people, sometimes you're just gonna you just get frustrated.
I totally agree with you. And I feel like if you're going to be a photographer and you respect the art, you have to do it for you. Otherwise, you're making everyone else's art. So what's the point of being an artist? Yeah.
So let's give some general feedback to Daniel Skog. I think his work is coming along.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of different categories, but some of the categories like architecture only has 2
Ooh,
photos.
that's a great picture, though.
I thought these 2 pictures were really good. But I'm wondering if we're at the stage where we combine everything into one.
I think that's his category.
I love all the little people in the frame. Oh, it's so good.
It's really
Yeah,
good.
I really like both those pictures. But I'm thinking about having him just have one portfolio category and putting his best pictures from everything in
a
there.
best of?
Yeah, don't you
So
think?
change
That's
his
what I
template?
do. I don't have it broken down into different categories. It wouldn't, yeah. It'd be
But they're
a
so
little change.
different. I guess it depends what Daniel wants. If he wants to be hired as a portrait photographer, he would need to focus on that. If he's just doing it for Daniel, your architecture pictures were amazing. Maybe you need to just put up more of those. I don't know.
Oh, and look, he's selling some, maybe these are prints. Every Squarespace website, Chelsea, comes with a store
You don't have to tell me.
built into it.
Nobody buys mine. Someone bought one of my pictures for their mom. Thanks, guy.
Oh,
Thanks, dude.
guy.
Daniel, we had a little bit of feedback for you. I hope that helps.
Wait, we should check in. Oh, let's see what Daniel had to say.
Here's what Daniel had to say about Squarespace. I've been using Squarespace for a while now, and I must say that I'm really impressed by the awesome templates for my website and how easy it is to add items. A big plus also with the 24/7 customer support, which is really helpful. Never back to WordPress for my portfolio.
Oh my
Squarespace
gosh.
all the way.
I can never go
WordPress
back
is a
to WordPress.
Total pain in the
I have a
ass.
WordPress too.
Oh,
Me
how many?
too.
It's free, right? But how many of the plugins did you have to get? The plugins.
I
gave up.
I gave
Yeah.
up too. I couldn't do it. Let's go to Siobhan because I miss her dearly.
Wait, I have to.
Oh,
Remember her?
I'm sorry, I'm totally lost here, but I have to show my Squarespace slide.
Are you okay right now?
Yes, if you want your own Squarespace portfolio, you should go to squarespace.com/Tony. Get a 14-day free trial, no credit card required, and then if you decide you like it, use your coupon code portfolio to save yourself 10%.
It saves you 10%. Now let Squarespace know that we are doing it. We deserve their love.
Even Roxy likes Squarespace, and she doesn't like
I
anything.
don't like stupid.
I don't know if you've seen Roxy, but she is not an enthusiastic personality. But the one thing she likes is Squarespace.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Squarespace is always there for me when everything else isn't.
They need an ad. You just calling Squarespace at 1 a.m. crying. He said he
Yeah.
loved me, but he didn't.
Yeah, if you have abandonment issues, they're perfect.
Yeah, so if you cannot call here and ask us how to add your links to your portfolio, you know how. I'm like, but I just want to talk to you guys.
So nice to talk to a human.
It's pretty cheap to get that sort of love.
Oh,
The
That's what you
companionship that we
fall
all
for?
need. Squarespace. Sorry, Squarespace support for sending you this stream of
he's
sad
just
people.
like, great. Now I get to hear people's problems.
Siobhan, did you have any questions for us or for Roxy? I'll
Yes,
import some
I have a
pictures.
bunch.
Oh, good.
Yay.
I also wanted to give a suggestion, though, for styling, especially if you live in a small town. I've worked with photographers and hairdressers before who have used just clothing boutiques in the area who like to lend out their clothes and get some free advertising in exchange. So that could be a good way to reach out. If you're in a small area, then they probably don't have a lot of photographers at the ready to shoot their stock as well.
Good idea.
Yeah, it never hurts to ask, especially those smaller boutiques. They're for just say like you can use this for your social media, you know, and they'll be glad to lend you clothes. The worst they can say is no.
Sometimes people say no. And that's okay.
Get used to it.
Get
And
used
then
to
you
it.
go back in like Pretty Woman, and you're like, big mistake. Dude,
I don't know if you know, but I just got 500 followers on Insta. Big mistake.
yeah, this could have been you.
Okay, question for Roxy. How do you define fashion photography as opposed to lifestyle or boudoir? Is it really just the focus on the clothing?
Yeah, I think it's the whole attitude that comes with doing fashion. Sometimes the clothing is just there. Have you ever looked at like a campaign for like you open a magazine and you see a photo and you're like, wow, this looks so cool. And you don't even realize that what they're trying to sell you is like the purse she has, but you're so caught by the everything that's going on and the story that they're telling that you sit on that page and you look at it a little bit longer. I think that's it. Just creating a story that fashion is an element in, versus trying to sell the person. You're trying to sell this whole idea of who they are, what they're doing. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, you can be telling a story sometimes. I've seen ads about like a designer watch and the guy's in a plane seat with his scotch. And it's not just about owning the watch, it's about being that cool guy that owns the watch. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus like, oh, this is a portrait shop because you want to get to know the kind of person this is. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the little bit extra that is in the photo that makes it fashion, the attitude, the tone, the mood.
I agree. Siobhan, anything else?
Yes, certainly. Question for all of you. What percentage of your shots are the ones you planned on getting and worked for, and how many just happen while you're out looking for your planned shot?
I don't know. What do you think? 50-50? Sorry, if you can't hear it, that's Cowboy whimpering.
I just want to go hug my dog, but you talk and I'll listen.
What do you think, Roxy? How often does it turn out the way you planned, and how often do you do better by just rolling with it and improvising?
Oh, all the time. I love doing mood boards for shoots, and my final photos will look nothing like the mood board. And even though that was the whole goal for it, but once you get there and then you the way your model is feeling, the way you're interacting, the way the environment is changing, it always plays a factor no matter what you think you're going to go in there and do.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially if you're working with a model that you haven't worked with before. Like, you just have to get some practice with a model because you never have any idea what sort of expression they're going to bring or how they might convey a particular mood, and rolling with it.
Yeah, you got to roll with the punches.
Chelsea's laughing because our dog Cowboy is right outside of the frame.
I'm one of those crazy dog people, but he's so old and he can't hear, so he's just looking at us and crying. It's breaking my heart.
Baffled by this whole thing.
He wants dinner.
You guys should have a chair between you two where he sits.
I want that. I need that.
Did you have any other questions, Siobhan?
I was going to just elaborate on that.
Okay.
I think you absolutely have to roll with the punches no matter what kind of photographer you are, because I've gone out planning to get wildlife pictures and the bird that I want is not out that day, but there's some other bird or rabbit or a kid doing something weird. And you just have to capture the moment that's presented to you sometimes.
Yeah, be willing to scrap all your plans.
Yeah, you got to be flexible.
Don't hang on to it too long. Let's take a look at a few more pictures, then we'll go back and get some more questions. I thought this picture was just beautiful. Like, everything seemed to come together. I like the model's pose and expression. Her hair and makeup seem really nice. She's got this great dress, and the scarf is the most striking thing to me, but I also like the use of this sort of object in the front. I always call it front bouquet. There might be a technical term for it, but to me that conveys like a feeling of froquet. To me, it conveys almost like a voyeuristic thing. Like you saw her across the room.
Like, and you're also in that movie, The Great Gatsby.
This looks like a picture mat. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give that one a pick. Beautiful light on her hair there too. Just really nicely done.
The only thing that I would play around with is the colors. Maybe orangey, or maybe that's good. I would just play around with it a little bit.
No, you're right. She's being uplit by something. There might be a reflection of something
Maybe
shiny over here, but yeah, maybe so. You're right. It does feel a little weird because it's like uplighting.
Oh my gosh, this child is adorable.
Yeah, I thought this was a beautiful picture. You can't see much of the dress because it's so out of focus, but overall, it's just such a cute picture, and her fingernails even match her dress.
Rox, get at me. What are you thinking, girl?
This is so cute. It's so hard because people know, you obviously know how to take a photo. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not.
It's
No.
really good. What are we going to tell them?
Fashion is so boring. Who cares? This is a really good photo and I love it. It's so cute.
Yeah, not fashion, terribly cute. I'd Photoshop this little thing out there.
Maybe catalog. Maybe I could see her in the children's place or something.
And maybe just a few of those stray hairs.
Yeah.
How do you feel about stray hairs, Roxy? Do you clean up wild stray hairs like that, or would you just leave that in?
I have a love-hate. Sometimes I'll like clean it out and then I'm like, oh, this looks weird now. And I'll have to like bring it back.
It's
So
fine.
I have the same thing. It's so impossible to remove those stray hairs and
It's
have
really
it look
hard.
natural.
yeah, no, it doesn't. It just looks like, okay.
I gotta say, on a gear point, the most common lens I've seen used here is that 50 millimeter f1.8, and a lot of use of the 85 millimeter f1.8. What sort of gear do you typically shoot with yourself, Roxy?
I have been working with the Canon 60D for like my whole life.
Uh-huh.
And because it's crop censored, I'm like balling on a budget. 60D, and then I had a 50, which made it really hard because it's like an 85 on the crop sensor. And then I started shooting like nighttime concerts, so I needed something that I could use there. So I got a 35 manual focus Bauer lens, and I love that lens. But I just recently, thanks to Canon Adorama, once they saw what I was working on, they were like, please have this gift, and they gifted me the 5D.
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
The
Yeah,
Mark
so
IV, very
thankful.
nice.
They
But-
were like, you are balling on a budget, and we're
Yeah.
going to hook you up.
They were like, that's so cute that you shoot on the 60D, but you need to not do that.
Damn, Roxy, that's a
Really
huge
nice.
upgrade. Yeah,
They're
that was really
generous.
nice of them.
That's generous.
So nice. Yeah. But like that just like side note, it doesn't, people are always like, what gear do you shoot on? What do you shoot? Like, that's so affordable. Like the Bauer 35 was like $100 something, and
Yeah.
you just have to make it work for you. If you know what you're doing, like no one can tell, like no one knew that I was on a 60D, And so it
And-
really goes like, do the best you can with what you have.
That's-
Don't let that.
Thank
Stop it.
you. Woo! Round of applause.
Well-
Another Go Roxy moment, because we get so many questions about which gear should I go to next, and people don't know composition yet, or lighting, or posing, or anything like that. Like, you can grow on the gear you have, and then you can go to the next gear. You can't buy your problems away, right?
Yeah, better gear is mostly about just saving yourself some time.
Yeah.
Like making everything go a little smoother so you don't have to spend as much time cleaning up noise or fidgeting, or you don't have as many shots as that have missed focus. But let me ask you this. You switched from a very old 60D to the brand new 5D Mark IV. How has that changed your work? Has it made your life any easier, or has it not made that big of a difference?
It's definitely weird. I just shot with it for the first time last week,
Mhm.
and I shot on autofocus, and I'm used to shooting manual. So I felt like it felt super weird. I loved it, but I don't know yet. I need to keep
Yeah.
using it to
You're just
see,
not
like,
familiar enough with it yet. Yeah. I would say
Yeah.
for me that an old autofocus system for something like a fashion shoot where you're shooting quickly can be really frustrating to me. I like a good autofocus system.
Yeah. Do you feel like the technology is doing a lot of the work now?
when it comes, like, what do you mean?
Like with the autofocus, you said you usually do manual focus.
Yeah, manual focus allows you to like slow down, and make sure you're getting the shot that you want versus like, okay, go, and
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely recommend people who don't shoot manual to try it. But if you've got good, work with what you have. I'm just blabbering now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really such a small part of it. Like everything else is 90% of it. And then whatever gear you have makes things easier. That's the best it can do.
So let's look at this coolest little girl ever, because I wish I had half of her style when I was her age. She is, I think it's about her. Like it's pretty portraity, but she does have style. I don't know. It's
I like the picture a lot. I think the lighting is just gorgeous. She's got this backlighting that's making her hair glow. Her outfit is just pristine. Look, she's even got like a little bit of lighting on her glasses there. I don't know.
I think it's the colors that are getting me.
Mm-hmm. The hat.
You like the hat? I like the hat too.
Mm-hmm.
I put up a video on color toning and Photoshop. For me, it's a lot easier to work in Photoshop with the colors than Lightroom, but it can be done in Lightroom. So you can look up that video and you could just change the colors of the shadows a little bit and the highlights and maybe get her skin a bit more natural. It can make a big difference.
Yeah, there is something about the color. I was just trying random presets to see if I happened to stumble across one that looked cool.
I don't think you are because... Oh, wait, that one made her skin look more natural. Sorry, we moved past that, Roxy.
Okay. First, Journey is awesome. I know they're cheesy, but nobody has ever turned off the radio when a Journey song came on, right?
What's your favorite Journey song?
I'm so afraid I'm going to name like a Foreigner or a Boston song.
Yeah, maybe just...
Because I can't tell the difference.
You mean Don't Stop Believin'.
I was going to say Don't Stop Believin'. Is that one Journey?
She's just a small town girl.
Keep going. You can wait.
No.
If you don't know the words, you just go, hey, and people think it's...
No, it never has worked for you, Chelsea. Here they've brought in the black and white points to just basically reduce the contrast a little bit. It's definitely a stylized thing, and maybe it's working, maybe it's not.
Intentional. Roxy, what are you thinking?
I like this. Looks like a Tilly's ad. Are you guys familiar with Tilly's?
No.
It's like a clothing brand, but like really like skatery, cool kids on the block. This looks like it could be in like their window.
Really?
Yeah.
High praise then.
Very high praise.
Oh.
Ooh, I like this one a lot.
Yeah, this shot's almost the same in that it's very square, hands in the pocket. There's not a lot conveyed about the outfit, though you do see the texture there, like a more contrasty background or a light on the background might make her pop from it more. But at the same time, it's a low-key picture, and it kind of works in the way it is. Any thoughts, Roxy?
Yeah, this looks like a little more like just trying to get a good shot of maybe the sweater, like a creative e-com kind of.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is awesome. I think more brands are starting to know that like you can't just have someone stand on a white wall, anymore. People want to see like accessories and a little bit of more attitude when it comes to like shooting just on a blank space. Or
I agree with you. I think things are going way more towards candid or lifestyle and moving away from that really stark commercial look. It's almost like everyone's becoming their own advertisement now. It's kind of strange, actually.
Yeah, and I think personalities are really important too. It's not just a generic picture, but who's in it, who took it, what are they wearing? Like all of this kind of becomes very important.
Yeah, and like your life philosophy becomes a part of the clothes that you buy. So people aren't just selling clothes anymore. They're selling a mood. It's really interesting.
This picture is just so like dark. I'm not sure. And I also don't feel like the clothes are the star of it at any point. Like maybe the shoes could be, or maybe the pants could be, but the shoes aren't lit very well, and we don't really see much definition in any of the clothes.
What's going on in here? I'm gonna peek.
It's a very advanced pose, right? Like this is a really challenging environment. Any sort of full body pose like that is kind of difficult, but also it's not casual. It's not a moving shot. It's kind of like pose. It doesn't feel like we interrupted her doing something. She probably wouldn't be just lounging on a log like that. I don't know. There's something that feels unnatural about it to me.
I think the styling again is giving me a hard time because she's got these patent pumps on, and then her shirt almost looks athletic, but that could just be the way that it's lit. So that's kind of the first thing it's drawing. my attention is going there because it's something feels wrong to me. So
I think, yeah, just the fashion is a little bit like outdated, but that doesn't mean that I mean, I feel like they need to go back and do this again and just change the fashion because it would work.
yeah, because I think I think your pose is good. I like the location. Maybe the light could use a little work because it just seems, I can't really zoom in, but it seems like maybe something went, maybe it's the processing.
I think they like lowered the clarity or did something like that. And yeah, because it has this like foggy feel. This is very casual, and this one caught my eye largely because of the umbrella. There was something, the umbrella like threw everything off balance for me, and that just made me stop and explore the picture a little bit. I don't know. There was just something about it I liked. I can't make any explanation for it.
I do like it. Is it fashion?
I definitely think it could be. Yeah, if, you know.
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, any brand, like you could even see the word like Levi written up on top or like over to the side, and it just be like a commercial photo for, like, I could see this on the side of I don't know, advertising. This is fashion. I mean, even though the fashion is like little, there's something going on. There's a mood. I read someone said that like fashion, everyone looks kind of bored, and it's true. Like there's a reason why this looks like it's fashion versus a portrait, because he's got an attitude.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I like that shot. I'll give it a pick.
Oh, we got a pick going on. How about this one? How about that?
How about that?
You like how about that, don't you?
I love how about that. Woo!
Siobhan, do you like how about that?
Catch me outside, how about that?
Catch me
I
outside,
do.
How about that?
Justin, is this making any sense to you?
Justin,
I'm on this. It's all I've been saying for the
I
last
showed
couple of
my
days.
family because it made me laugh, but it's this Dr. Phil episode, and it's one of those teenagers that's trying to be really tough, and the audience laughs at her, so she's like, "Cash me outside, how about that?" And then everybody writes, "How about that?" Because she has this weird affect. I don't know even know what it's supposed to be. And there's a remix to it. Have you all seen the remix? Because it's real good.
The memes already are so good.
My daughter's been saying, "How about that?" to me about everything. I'm like, "Don't even how about that me." All right.
You could just say that to anyone for anything. Cash me outside, how about that?
It's all going to end when you get your ass kicked outside.
I'm not worried. Nobody will understand me. I'll be fine.
You're probably safe here in Connecticut. I don't think anybody. This picture feels almost a little dated to me. It feels very like
But she's so cute.
posy and processed.
Maybe the glamour makeup with just like the chill hoodie. But she's so pretty, and I love her makeup. And I just wish that maybe her outfit were different, or she was styled chill like her outfit.
Yeah, or if she were her, but she were just chilling on the subway like that, or doing something a little more environmental and a little less posy. I don't know.
Roxy?
Do you have suggestions, Roxy?
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
Like reading my mind today. Yeah. If she's got the cute wing liner, so I feel like she should be like in another outfit. But if she's in this hoodie and if she had like a sleek ponytail,
I was thinking
same
that.
pose, no eyeliner, she looked like she's like going for a run, like she's super cool. That would just make the photo like work.
Where do you think she is? Because I thought she was looking out a train, but that's really dramatic. She's probably just in a door. Where do you think?
She's like, I'm about to go on this run. Don't know when I'll be back. But
Yeah,
I'm
I see
going.
that. She kind of looks like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest things we run into with photographers is they don't match various aspects of the makeup and the outfit and the environment and the pose. There's a mismatched mood going on.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of that there.
It's hard because sometimes mismatch works so good, and sometimes
That's true. If it feels
A
deliberate.
deliberate clash.
Yeah.
How about that?
how about it?
This feels like a sunset picture. I don't feel like it's a
Can we get
beauty
a
dish or
cowboy
anything.
cam going?
I don't know. Justin, you think you can pan that camera around fast enough to keep up with Cowboy?
What is he
We
doing?
do have a robot camera here, and maybe we
Is
could
he
catch
gonna,
him.
like, pee? Like, what is he even up to?
Oh man, people are gonna see our messy studio.
That's okay. That's
Oh,
fine.
there's Cowboy.
He just keeps walking around and sniffing everything. Cowboy, you're famous.
Bye, Cowboy.
Okay.
I think this is a nice portrait. I don't think it conveys fashion to me. It's very like, look at the camera, kind of traditional lighting. But I think it's a good portrait.
I'm gonna just.
You just cooled it down a little bit.
I just added a little
Just
magenta
magenta.
because she was very green.
Yeah.
She was green.
We're running out of time. Let's go on. Maybe we should.
Gosh, it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe we should go
Roxy,
back to
I've had so
Siobhan
much
and see if.
fun. Let's go.
Yeah,
There's
to
some more
stop
questions.
following me. Let's keep reviewing people's photos.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
All right, we're doing a marathon today. What do you have, Siobhan?
I have questions for you.
Okay.
This lady says she designs and sews clothes for herself and then photographs herself modeling them. Do you have any advice when you're doing clothing, styling, makeup, hair modeling, lighting, photography, all by yourself?
Yes. I when I first started, it was like, oh, I can do it. But now I don't think I would be anywhere without my team. And I know that you want to be able to do everything economically and the way you want it, but you need a team and you need to be able to tell them, this is what I want. This is what I want it to look like. And they will make it happen for you. It's hard to do everything yourself. It really is.
How many people do you have on your team?
For sure, I have two, a hairstylist and a makeup artist who
Yeah.
are like my go-to. And I can always count on them and they know what I want and what I like. And once you found that team, it's like gold.
Let me ask you, do you keep them around for the entire shoot, or do you have them just at the beginning and then you send them on their way?
Sometimes, mostly they stay for the whole shoot because while I'm shooting, my hairstylist Omar will jump in and adjust the hair. So then I don't have to do that because he's aware of the hair the whole shoot. Same with the makeup artist. She'll jump in and fix the lipstick while I'm shooting because she's aware of the makeup the whole shoot.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of on your
Yeah.
own. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how about that?
How about that? And she could still make it economical by maybe getting a few outfits set up that can work with one look and then doing all of these shoots at one time. So,
Yes, there's ways, but definitely as superwoman as you are, get help so then you can be even focus your energy on like making the shoot that much better.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I agree. Your pictures go to the next level when you have other people working with you. I know we didn't, like, she wanted tips for working alone. We kind of all said, it's going to be rough.
We never have because we've always had each other.
Yeah.
And then I would model sometimes, and I finally said to Tony, I can't do this. We need to get a real model. So you just need to know when it's time to move it up, step it up.
Any other questions, Siobhan? Can't live without teamwork, I think we learned.
Teamwork.
Well, for fashion, for portraits, you do that. You can do it by yourself, but fashion,
Photographers can be arrogant. They think you don't need a professional model because they're going to pose them.
Are you calling
don't
us
need hair
really
and makeup.
arrogant?
Photographers in general, I find that, they think that they can just do it all. And then you get these pictures that end up a little awkward and there are a couple of things off and you just need specialists. Hair and makeup hair and makeup and modeling are careers in and of themselves, just like photography.
I think it's hard to know what you do not know. And I think that happens in every field. And I think that I can't speak for every culture. I know there are people watching from every country, but in America, it's very like, be the best and be an island. And it's okay to be good at seeing what's good in other people. It's okay to admit weakness and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be a part of a team. You don't have to be the best at everything. Just know your strengths and weaknesses and then use that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Siobhan, what else? That was so encouraging. You can write that down.
Put that in your back pocket.
How about that?
Okay, here's one.
And how about that?
What if your photo shoot came out shit? Your model expects you to share those photos online, but you think it doesn't display what you aspire to. This may get awkward with your model.
Okay, this is what I've done because this has happened to me. Ask them not to share your name. That's what I did. Maybe that's not right, but that's what I've done. I took pictures that I wasn't very proud of, but the person really wanted them, and I didn't want to share them. And I just said, share them, but just don't tell anybody that they're mine. And then they have their pictures, and you don't get blamed for what you're not proud of.
Do you find, Roxy, that it's a two-way street in social media where you're sharing a model's pictures and kind of linking to her and helping to promote her, and vice versa? Is that an issue for you?
No, I've always worked with teams who are really good at giving credit. I feel like it's so weird when you see a photo, you're like, well, who took that? Like, who is that? You should always just tag. It doesn't, you know, especially Instagram that just lets you tag on the photo. You don't even have to put their name in the photo.
Yeah.
No, I think it annoys me when people don't tag. Not like for my work, just when I see things that are amazing and I'm like, who did that?
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay. Let's take a few more pictures and then we'll get out
I
here.
want to hear from Siobhan.
More questions for Siobhan.
Yeah, she's so
Okay.
good at that.
Siobhan's awesome at questions.
I'm not. It's probably the worst thing I'm good at. What?
You
See?
confuse me.
Oh my gosh, we have a lot of questions. Is it harder to do a creative shoot when you don't really like the fashion you're shooting?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're feeling it, then it's easier.
Ooh, these are all good.
I know, these are really good. What happened?
We've seen this picture before, though,
I
right?
haven't. But
Maybe
it's
I just
Chris
saw it in the
Advall. It's
Facebook.
Chris Advall.
I probably just saw it in the Facebook group, or
Chris, so good.
He's good.
it's a great shot, right? It feels so natural and candid, and yet everything about the hair and makeup and outfit all seems to be perfectly done. Yeah, definitely a pick. It all just comes together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you adjust the white balance? Is that too orangey for you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
maybe
I'd say
pull it
just
down
a
little bit.
smidgen, Chris. That's one of those things, it's really difficult to see. You kind of have to go back at a later date and make those little tiny adjustments. I do anyway.
Yeah, it also largely depends on how it's being presented. You know, it might look different in a magazine or on a wall.
Mm-hmm. You make good points. Look
Um,
at this guy rocking that t-shirt fashion.
Yeah, off-center composition. Yeah, which lends a feeling of being candid. I don't know. I think it works. It doesn't necessarily say anything to me, but the shirt itself is kind of wrinkled up, which might not be what they want to convey about the shirt.
Okay. I think I have that dress. I'm confused.
I am so confused about this. She's looking off camera. It's like she's posing to another photographer, and this was just kind of snapped.
But also I thought that this was like a bridal shoot, but then she has like ballet slippers on.
Roxy, explain this picture to us.
She'll get it.
You understand, I'm sure.
She's so wise.
See, that's when like I have that dress in purple because I had it I was a bridesmaid. So it's like that distracts me because
Yeah.
I'm like, is this a ballerina wedding? Or, you know, there's maybe in order to take away the bridesmaidy of the dress, she could be like doing a spin, or like
Yeah.
you could, even if you're not even using that dress anymore, like rip it up. But yeah, she looks like she's like super done up for a wedding on top, but then it's like a party at the bottom.
I agree. That's what was your dress from J. Crew?
No, it was from Anthropology.
Oh, I wore one just like that from J. Crew. So we're getting caught up on that. We've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
in weddings. We know.
Yeah, I'm so glad we included everybody in this dress talk.
Okay, things get a little crazy towards the end. That's fine.
Yeah. Keep
Let's do
doing
it.
like the ballerina thing. I like it.
I love this picture so much
Why does this feel so cinematic to me?
because it's straight from an indie movie about a girl who suffers from depression but is also very, very smart and can't find love, but then she does. Just saying.
Okay, you could have picked just for Chelsea's backstory on that photo.
No, this is beautiful. I agree.
You love it, right? Or you open up your new like CD if you still buy those, and this picture's in there,
Yeah.
right?
So good. Yeah. You should have a little noise that like when you make a pic, it's like bling.
Oh yeah. Ba-bing.
Like fairy dust.
You're so smart.
You got to pick. What's the movie about with this photo, Roxy?
No, that's Chelsea. Chelsea does all the screenwriting.
Oh, okay. My bad.
This one is very gritty meets glam. Sorry about my phone, guys. That's so unprofesh. How about that?
Yeah, I like it. I like the use of the wide angle to kind of exaggerate things. Something about her face feels over processed to me. I don't know if that's the case or if it's just the way the lighting was. Like, yeah, there's just something about it that. But I think it's a cool shot. I like the super wides.
I wouldn't say fashion. Her fashion's actually getting very hidden in her pose.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can't see any aspect of her clothes. They're just completely hidden.
She's a very gorgeous woman in a very cool picture.
Let's see if we can find something.
Oh, this is literally
I've never shot
fashion.
a runway shot before, but yeah, I guess
Roxy,
it is
have
fashion.
you shot a runway show before?
No, never.
Me either. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well,
So glad you guys are BFFs now.
Whoever.
this is like in a magazine when they're showing you all the hot looks on the runway. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this is great. Whoever this was looks like they're like on the runway.
yeah. Yeah, how'd they do that?
How you do that?
How you do that? We saw this. We saw that. We did it?
I think we did it. We didn't look at all the pictures.
Should we
but
take one last question from
Yeah.
Shibert?
Let's see what else Siobhan has. Do you want me to pop that back open for you?
No, I'm just moving it off my
Notes.
note.
Okay. Any last question for us, Siobhan? Your very
Yeah.
best question. The top
Choose
question.
this one from Kyle Wolf.
Speaking of fashion, your kimono is on point.
I was just gonna ask Siobhan what that was.
Oh, thank you.
That is
It's
nice.
one of my favorite items of clothing.
You're so fashion.
Someone asked if I was wearing a muumuu, but I'm not.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you are. She wears muumuus a lot, guys. Don't
I
listen to
Yeah,
would,
those are coming back.
but I'm not. All right. Question from Kyle. Any tips for photographers trying to find work who are very experienced but haven't done many paid shoots? What jobs did you do to build up your resume and portfolio?
Is that?
What do you think, Roxy?
Oh, hey.
That's you.
You have to make it seem like you are in high demand and that you are shooting for all these clients, and that's where you really have to put the effort into your test shoots. So then people look at you doing consistent work, and they don't have to know that that's a test shoot or that you're not being paid for that by a brand, But
Yeah.
keep your work updated and shoot what you want to be hired for. So does that make sense?
It absolutely does. Yeah.
Yeah, brands will see like, wow, you're super busy. I'm not sure if you have time. Like, send us your rates. And it's like, yeah, I'm not busy. Like, but they don't have to know that, They can think that you're super busy doing all kinds of cool shoots, but really it's only all tests. So
Yeah.
I would definitely suggest doing that.
Good suggestion. Play hard to get.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else, Siobhan? You okay, Siobhan? Did your child take you hostage?
Yes, a little bit. Roxy, tell me, whoever asked this question, about the colors in your photos.
They're beautiful. They are beauts. Let's go to her profile.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up her Instagram.
They can look at my stuff later, you guys.
Oh, you feeling uncomfortable about us browsing through your work?
Please, there's no room for being.
Like, people don't want to see this.
What's up with Party Santa here?
That's just how she rolls, Tony. This is Roxy we're talking about.
Yeah, you got a way cooler Santa than I ever
That's
experienced.
actually my hairdresser, Omar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't have a Santa, so I was like, guess what you're doing today?
Is that hashtag blessed with Scott?
Yeah. I had to.
Okay, so back to the question.
Yeah, how do you work with color? Like, if you know that you're shooting an outfit that's pale blue, do you select a background that complements that, or do you ever move around to complement or contrast color?
It's hard to say because sometimes it works when it's super contrast. Sometimes like these pictures of Zoe, the girl in the white hair, she looks like she's a part of like her background. I love that. So you use the color to tell the story that you want for that shoot.
Yeah. You have to feel out the mood, right?
Exactly.
Good answer.
Okay.
Okay, should we wrap?
Yeah, we'll wrap.
Are we done here?
We'll wrap, yeah.
Check out Roxy's stuff, roxyrodriguez.com. That also links to all of her
Social media.
down there. And what do you know?
I like her Insta.
Roxy's portfolio is hosted on Squarespace. If you want your own awesome portfolio, you could own a restaurant, you could be a doctor, or what other job would benefit from a Squarespace portfolio or
Roxy?
Squarespace website, Roxy?
What other type of portfolio?
What other type of profession could benefit from a Squarespace website?
Maybe a jeweler.
Everyone. You make a candle maker.
Candle
Oh,
maker.
a candle maker. That's a good one. A contractor. Sometimes I want some work done around the house, but I want to see what you've done, contractor. You know?
Justin, can you think of a job that would benefit from a Squarespace website?
Proctologist, of course.
Yeah,
A
of course.
proctologist.
Good, yeah, because they have nice
Yeah.
high-resolution pictures available on there.
I'm gonna steer clear of that one.
You can even embed videos right in your Squarespace portfolio, which would be perfect for some proctology.
Guys,
If
this
you want
is
your own
crazy.
portfolio, go to squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code portfolio after your 14-day free trial to get 10% off. Thanks, Squarespace, for making this all possible. Thank you, Roxy,
Roxy,
for joining us.
thank you so much for joining us.
Next week is animals.
Animals!
Look at her with the
There.
plug.
How about that?
How about that, Roxy?
Roxy, can we just see your coffee cup real quick? I just want to see your progress on that. Oh, there you go. I got the biggest cup I could find, but I don't think I can compete.
Roxy, we have to do a fashion tutorial video with you. How about we come out to California and you show us your whole process and teach the masses?
Come hang out with me. We'll just eat hot Cheetos and like,
I love hot Cheetos.
yeah.
I mean, that sounds like all right, the next Wanderlust, I guess Roxy's hosting it and co-hosted by Hot Cheetos.
Dreams really do come true, guys.
And Velveeta.
And Velveeta.
And Velveeta and Cowboy.
Thank you, Justin, and thank you, Siobhan, as well. And guys, we'll see you next week. Animals.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can hang
How
out,
about
Roxy.
that?
We'll say
How about that?
bye. There's
How about
Tigar.
that? How about that?
How about that?
That is all.
Catch me outside. How about that?